I am absolutely in love with coming up with project ideas to do with your kids from the dollar store. Today is no different. I'm showing you how to put together some play trays using Dollar Tree items for your kids because you're gonna need some fun things to do this summer, I am sure. Hey you guys, it's Christina from the Purple Alphabet. Let's head over to Dollar Tree, do a little shopping, find some things that we can use in play trays. My main goal of this video is to give you some ideas. So when you're shopping at Dollar Tree, you might think, hey, that would be great for a play tray, and so that you can make something at home. Of course, play trays are always great using materials that you already have, so keep that in mind too as you're watching. But this is something that you might want to do when you're shopping because it's only $1 from the dollar store, and you might be able to put together a really fun play tray. So without further ado, let's get started on some fun play tray ideas. So let's first start off with some tray options. There are so many at Dollar Tree. So these are some lunch trays and they're there at Dollar Tree right now. I just saw them recently. And they have two different styles and they're all in different colors. This one's more of a rectangular one and this is the square one, and they have different slots, of course, for meals because they are just like lunch trays. So these are great options because you can put things in divided compartments and they're only $1 each. So these are very, very good options to have. I actually have two of each that I've used for years. Also, you can find actual activity trays. These come back every now and then. I've seen them about maybe 2 or 3 times now, and they also come in different colors and they're stackable. So they're kind of divided, like there's a little division here into 4 quadrants, but it's not raised all the way up like this one is. So these are good for like, separating out crafts and things like that, but they can also work for play trays. And like I said, they come in different colors too. This is also an option for $1. These are usually in the back to school section or the teacher section, where these are usually in the kitchen section, usually like where you can find all of the kitchen plates and stuff like that. That's where you can find these. So look for this one in the school section, or the toy section is where you'll find this. Also in the kitchen section, you can find something like a muffin tin. These are really great because they have deep pockets. A lot of people don't like them because of what they're made out of, that they're made out of that kind of aluminum tin, but it's also a great option. I've had this one for, I would say, at least 8 years now, and it's held up very, very well, and you can do different things with it. So this is a really great option. You might already have one already that you could use for this purpose, so check out what you have in your kitchen, but this is in the kitchen section. Then you can find trays like this. This is actually a new tray that's in the party section, where they have all of those plastic party supplies and forks and things like that. This is there, and it's just a plain black tray. The size is pretty decent. I'd say it's a little bit on the small side, but you could fit a lot of things on here. It's not divided, but you could still put a whole scene on here, like one full landscape if you wanted to, and that's just another option. Be on the lookout for trays like this at Dollar Tree because you'll have a lot of things that you can work with. I do like that it's black. Probably would have liked that it's white. I also like the clear containers too, but I just thought that was nice. Also during seasonal times, they'll bring out larger trays and platters and things like that. So this one was part of their 4th of July, I think, luau selection, and it's a nice quality and it's really big. So you could fit a lot on here and have a really great workspace. This would actually be great for just like an activity tray in general and putting work on and carrying it around. So every now and then they come out with these. I haven't seen them in the past 2 visits I've been, but this one I got maybe a month ago. Just be on the lookout because they come out with all sorts of trays in different lengths and sizes that you'll probably want to grab if you see them. So a lot of times you'll hear people talk about play tray in kind of 2 different ways. The first way is usually referred to as a tinker tray, and a tinker tray is based off the Reggio Emilia philosophy of learning. And the way the tinker trays work is that they have very natural based materials. So for instance, I have these wooden blocks here, which are a very natural material. These came from the craft section, and they're not painted. There's nothing done with them, and they're very natural look and feel. There's also those wood shop kits that you can find over in the toy section, and you can pull the little wood pieces from that for that natural feel. So thinking like natural materials that you'd find out in nature would be what a tinker tray is all about. And when you set up a tinker tray, it's designed that the child leads the experience. And you'll see what I mean when I explain the other method in just a second. What you can do is use something like this and just put materials in here. So we're going to put our little cubes, our wooden block cubes, and these actually come in different sizes in the Dollar Tree. These come from the wood shop kit. They had several different pieces in there, and that just is a great way. You're not going to be making the wood shop thing, but you could use those pieces to build different things. Here's another bigger piece. Over in the home decor section, there's these little glass marble beads, which come in so many different colors. That would be fun to include in here as far as your creation goes. So I have some different stones here. Once again, that natural material feel, so things that you would find outside like rocks and things like that to build and create. These stones are also great as manipulatives as well. We use them for counting sometimes. And then another thing I want to address too is safety. So if your child is oral, they put things in their mouth, then materials like this probably are not a good fit yet right now. And so you as a parent have to be advised on what kind of materials you're supplying and if they're safe or not. And then of course, in addition to that, you need to provide supervision. The reason why the materials are small is because one of the things that you get with a tray like this is fine motor activities, fine motor skills, developing those really fine tuned muscles in the hand. And that's why the materials are smaller. That's why Montessori does it. And so it's just to be mindful if this is appropriate or not for your child. Okay, so I have a couple of those materials in there. And then we can add things like Play-Doh. This is like something that they can use to build with, like act like they're glue or they're, a joint to put two pieces together. So it's nice to have another material in there that they can use in that manner, that in there, in that section there. So this is what you could consider a tinker tray. So what they can do with this is it's child-led. They use their imagination to create from these materials. What are they going to create? I don't know yet. You're going to find out. But the materials are set up in a way that it's inviting that they are going to use it to build or to create landscapes or to make something out of. Here's a bench. They can make a house. They could put the marbles into the dough and have some kind of creation over here. So the world is up to their imagination on how they're going to use the materials to build something or play with something. And you switch out the materials and every time is a new experience. So this is what a tinker tray essentially is. You can also take it one step further and make it a little bit less child guided by making it a STEM activity. Can you build a house with these activities? Can you make a tower? Those kinds of questions. And so they have an objective in using the materials. And if you're going to do that, just be mindful of what materials you've provided to see if they can do it. Also online, you can find a whole bunch of resources on STEM activities using all Dollar Tree materials. I also have a video about Dollar Tree STEM kits that you can check out too. I'll put that up there in the corner. You can watch that after this video. Another type of play tray is based off of invitations to play. An invitation to play is that you set it up and get it started for the child, and then they take it from there. So you do the setup piece, and then they just build off what you've started. So I'm going to use this tray because it kind of looks like the ocean, right? And I'm going to envision that this little section here will be the play space. So I found this pom-pom, and I cut off the pieces of the pom-pom. The pom-poms were in the toy section of Dollar Tree. And yes, play trays are messy. Just be prepared for that. So I'm going to put this in here to kind of represent maybe the ocean, and I like that it's shiny and something kind of different. I'm going to anticipate this to be the initial play space. And then around it, I'm going to put all the materials that they can use to play. Also in the floral section, they do have things like sand that you can use inside your play trays. But you know what? I will have to say that I actually bought some of the sand and it was a no-go for me. The sand actually had a really powerful odor to it. And so I would not recommend that. I would definitely use like a kinetic sand that was made for children's play. And just because it's probably going to be a little bit safer. When you are shopping at Dollar Tree, some of these materials may look like they're going to be good, but just be forewarned that you may not want your child playing with them for safety reasons. They have at the Dollar Tree these packages of shells as well, and I ended up getting a package of them just to try out. They come in all kinds of different styles. These are used for home decor. I'm not 100% convinced that these are going to be safe for child play. Maybe an older child, maybe if you wash them, they are a little dusty, but I did get them to try them out. What I would recommend is maybe investing in something from like Safari LTD. This is a Safari LTD tube, and I know this video is supposed to be Dollar Tree, but forgive me because I did try the shells. I wasn't impressed from the Dollar Tree because I just don't feel that they're the safest way to play. So I'm going to suggest trying something like this. This is the seashell tube from Safari LTD, and they come with all kinds of seashells, and they're safer. They've gone through the tests for child play, and they just are safer. If you want a really safe option, splurge on this, and they're going to be used time and time again, and there's no rough edges like they are on these shells. Some of them probably be okay, but I'm just worried, you guys. I don't want them to be toxic or anything to kids, but they are an option if you want to try the shells. These do break a little bit easier because they are, in fact, I think they're pretty much real shells. Use them if you absolutely think they're safe and you're on a budget, but know that things like this are available and are much safer. So I'm going to place a couple of these shells here as part of my play tray. The other thing is you don't have to use everything you own, you know, just pick out a couple, a little bit to play with and to tinker with. Oh, and I do, of course, always tell you guys this. I have the Safari LTD coupon code. You can find these at Michael's. You can sometimes find them at some other stores too, but honestly, their website has the best selection. They are always having sales. And then I also have a coupon code for you. I'll put that below in the description box if you're interested in getting some Safari LTD tubes. I talk about these a lot because the quality is just great. Anyway, back to our little play tray. So I got a couple shells here, and then we're going to put some more of that Play-Doh. I did get the Play-Doh at Dollar Tree. It's a couple cents cheaper over at Walmart, to be fair, but you can find Play-Doh pretty much cheaply anywhere. I'm going to put that here in our center. In the luau section this year, they had some really fun palm trees, and I thought these would be really cool to use in this tray because we have this beach theme going on. And the thing I liked about this is that they're not sharp. The end of it is not sharp at all. It's a curved edge on the edge there, unlike regular stirrers. So I thought, oh my gosh, these are so cool. They're a little bit safer. So we can put these, I'm going to put them in the dough. And I'm thinking the dough could be like sand for the beach, and then the palm trees could be part of the ocean. So I got to put a couple in there. They come with a whole bunch in the package. And then also, if you go to the kids section, right now they have the bath toys, which are so adorable. And I got two different packages. I think one had the sea star, the starfish, the octopus, and then fish. So these would be fun to play in our little sea theme. And we have a whale. We're going to put the whale in the ocean. We have a little turtle. He can go up here. And then our crab. So you've started off a whole scene by creating a tray like this where kids basically know what this is. You've done it for them, just supply the materials. There's an ocean, there's animals, there's shells, we have, you know, our sand and beach and palm trees. And so they can create an ocean scene, an ocean playscape, and they can play based on that. What they actually play as far as that ocean theme goes is up to them. That's where the creativity comes into play. But you've provided the actual setup in the scene, which makes this an invitation to play, just a beach theme. If you like these Dollar Tree play tray ideas, I'm going to put another video up here on screen with some other Dollar Tree ideas so you can go take a look. You guys click subscribe to see more videos like this and give me a thumbs up to show your love.